name is Anna Winters Jones. I live in Minot, North Dakota, and my home was one of the homes flooded this June. I have a family of 5, my husband and I and our 3 boys, aged 13, 10, and 5. We bought our house in 2007. Never really worried about being by a river. We lived in a trailer court across the river bend prior, since about 1995. Never seen the river come anywhere near close to flooding. Never really were concerned about it because of the dike systems that were built after the '69 flood. Never thought we had to worry about it. We're never required to have flood insurance, and so just like the area, decided to purchase it for the square footage and price. And like I said, we lived there for 4 years. And when we were first told that there might be flooding this past summer, we actually didn't quite believe it, because we thought, how is the river going to get this high? When we were evacuated the first time at the end of May, it really hit home to us. We had to make some quick decisions, weren't given much time to pack up belongings, and we're out of our home approximately 6 days. We went back after we were allowed to, the mandatory evacuation was off, and we voluntarily went back. At that point, we had up to 3 feet of groundwater in our basement, which had taken out our furnace and our water heater, and we had to get our water heater replaced. So we pretty much stayed at our house for 5 or so days without hot water, but we're just happy to be back. The second round of evacuations, which I think it was a Monday night, or a Monday during the day, we heard that we were going to have to evacuate again. This time we knew the water had gotten pretty bad the last time, far more than we ever expected. This time we knew it was for real, and again had to make some heavy choices. The first round we got our pictures and our animals out and some important papers. Didn't have the ability to get much more. It got what we could with friends and family helping, but most of our support system was in the valley as well, and it was very hectic. The first evacuation, it took about 45 minutes to get in one direction. The bypass was crammed, crawling very slowly, and you weren't sure if you're going to get back or not. This last time, thankfully, we had some more people that popped in and helped us, some people from out of town that came with trailers and trucks, and strangers that we didn't know that actually helped us move our belongings, and that way we got out as much as we could. And we had the ability to store it in another friend's home, along with 3 or 4 other people's belongings. This time, too, each time we got more help, we went around and said, okay, this time, what's the priority to take? It was very difficult making those choices after you work so hard for things. I know things don't matter more than people, but still, when you work hard and sacrifice to get those things, it is very hard to leave them behind. We were fortunate to have some friends that did not live in the valley that we were able to stay with. For the first couple months, we were at our friend's home for 4 months before we got our FEMA trailer. For the first couple months, my husband and I and my 3 boys shared a bedroom. I slayed on the floor in a futon mattress that actually didn't fit completely on the floor by the bed, and my husband and the 2 older boys slept in the bed. It's very difficult. My husband's physically disabled, and it was very difficult for him to get around. We had our home handicap accessible, actually just got done renovating it and getting it so that he could get around freely in the home without fear of falling. When my friend's son went off to college, we moved to a bigger room in the house and stayed there the last couple months that we were there. It was very interesting. We had, there was 3 teenagers and my friend and her husband living in the home. And then another couple were living in a camper in the backyard, and my friend's sister and her husband and 2 daughters lived in another camper at the end of the yard. So it made for a lot of cooking, big meals together, a lot of pulling together, especially when the boil order was on, because we had to make sure everything was boiled. We're making sure that we had basic needs of water, trying to get enough for the kids, and we had 10 dogs. I think there was 8 kids at the time, and it was very trying, very stressful, not knowing when we could get back to the home to assess the damage, looking at the news coverage, trying to find our home on there to see how much damage was there. We were not the last area to get in, but the second last area. And we ended up, when I went in, I found far more damage than I ever expected. I didn't think water would do so much damage. Things that I had left behind and thrown in cabinets thinking that I could salvage later by washing ended up getting thrown out. We had mold up the walls, on the ceiling. It was just very heart-wrenching. The hardwood floors that I just loved were all buckled and needed to be taken out. It was very, very difficult to see. We had 5 feet 7 inches of water in our home, and when the FEMA inspector came out, said we had extensive damage. So we had capped off at our FEMA grant money, actually without even having the basement assessed. We did not have flood insurance. Like I said before, we didn't really feel the need to have flood insurance, and for us, since my husband's disability, we're pretty much paycheck to paycheck, and making decisions on whether to buy flood insurance or food was kind of what it was down to, and not expecting to have it, we chose other things. Now looking back, if one could, yes, of course we would purchase flood insurance, but like so many other families, we weren't in that position. Right now we are in a FEMA trailer. We have been in here just about five days now, I'm thinking. Very grateful to have our own space. We unfortunately were only allowed to take 2 of our 3 dogs, so one of our dogs is with another friend right now, and we're just adjusting to a different environment, trying to work on our home as much as we can right now. Due to our closeness to the river and being one of the 3 bridges that were closed down is right next to us, we're not sure if our property is going to be taken by the city for Greenway. So right now we're kind of in limbo, needing to protect the home, but also not sure what the outcome is, so we're not wanting to invest too much money at this point. Very grateful for the support of the community and our friends and family.
I'm DeJoris and I'm 5. Bye.